You are here because life feels fine. But you are done with fine. You know you are made for more. And you've asked, is this it? Too many times now. This isn't just another episode. This is your permission slip to turn fine back into fire. We're Charlotte and Kat, coaches through and through, but more importantly, real women who've been there. We help women come home to themselves and create a life that feels exciting, energizing, and completely their own again. Around here, we get real conversations, real stories, and real transformations from the women in our community who dared to go all in. If you're ready to stop existing, to stop settling for fine, and to start truly living, welcome home.
Hello, everybody, and I am so excited for this. We have been eagerly awaiting this interview with one of our incredible members, Amy, who joined us 6 months ago, and she was the biggest ray of light that we have had into the membership. And she is just the absolute epitome of being the sum of her choices, not the sum of her circumstances. And she has got an incredibly inspiring story to share with us today. And she chooses growth again and again and again. And it is an absolute honor to have her on the podcast today. So a big welcome, Amy. We are so excited to have you.
Hi. Oh, it's amazing to have you here, Charlotte. That intro got me tearing up already.
I know, Dawn. Oh my goodness. Oh, thank you so much. That's absolutely incredibly them kind words. Wow, thank you so much.
Oh, it's our pleasure. And I mean every bit of it. I really, really do. And it's just, this is what I love about obviously what we do and having this space is we get to connect with women just like you who are just so inspiring, so incredible. And let's go for it. Let's get into this. So, Amy, let's let our listeners get to know you. We would love to know a little bit about who Amy is and some of your story, if you would like to share some of that with us.
So my name's Amy. Oh, I'm nearly 36, actually.
Yeah.
Nearly 36. I find that I'm a very positive person. I like to think myself as a positive person, fun, spontaneous, end of an adventure. And I just feel like, well, I'm absolutely honoured to be on this podcast with you girls. Such inspirational. But yeah, I basically come to the Authentic Girls group because I was living my life. I thought I was happy, living a healthy lifestyle. I lived in Cotswolds in Cirencester, which I loved, absolutely beautiful place. I still have amazing soul, my soul sisters, I call them. I love my life there. I was a nanny, and yeah, I just loved living there. And unfortunately, I get mixed up with how long ago it is. 2023, end of 23, beginning of 24, actually, sorry. I had needles in my leg and I just sort of put it off. Anyway, trying to cut a long story short, it's a very long story. I basically, in January 24, I was diagnosed with osteosarcoma. And never in a million years did I think them words were going to be said to me. I mean, I don't think anybody does. And it's changed my life, absolutely. As you can imagine, my world absolutely crumbled. I was like, it just felt like my whole world collapsed around me, my whole families, my friends. It was the most horrendous time of my life, one of the toughest I've ever been through and hopefully ever will. But it was horrendous. I spent 4 months in hospital. My leg was broke for 4 months. I had chemotherapy. I lost all my hair. Now look at it. It's like crazy.
It's incredible. It is incredible.
Absolutely can't even tame the beast. But obviously it was a horrendous story. But I've chose positivity, and I chose, even though I went through what I did, and I have had counselling like throughout the whole thing, and I have had a lot of tools behind me to get me through, and I have come out the other side of it, and I now am cancer free. I'm 1 year cancer free. And oh my God, that sounds insane saying it out loud. But yeah, I'm 1 year cancer free, and I chose to choose positivity. And don't get me wrong, my God, there's been an absolute lake of tears and been absolutely down rock bottom. But I've chose every time to pick myself up and move forward and grow each time, and chose that this, I know it was a horrendous thing, and some people may not agree with me with this, but it happened. It was so horrendous, but I choose to believe that this happened for me. For some reason, I wasn't on the right path, or I had to go through this, unfortunately, and it has made me the person I am today, a strong person. I am a completely different person from what I was 2-3 years ago, but for the good. And I genuinely can say out loud that I actually like myself as a person, maybe even say the other word, but I really like myself as a person. I'm so proud of myself. I'm proud of choosing growth and choosing to just keep going. And I tell you what, when you're in the midst of that, I generally don't know sometimes how I got through it, but I did, with my mum by my side, with all my family, and my strength inside. My God, you don't know how strong you are until you have, all you've got is laid in that bed, and all you've got is to keep alive. That's your only mission, is to keep alive. And now I'm out of it. I'm a year free. I still have blood transfusions because I do have Diamondback anemia, which is another long-winded. But yeah, I had that since birth. It was in remission, but the chemo set it off again. So unfortunately, I have blood transfusions every 1 to 2 weeks, which has been hard to get my head round, because I got over the cancer and then I thought, wow, but I have to have these transfusions. They keep me alive, and I have them every 2 weeks. But I tell you what, it doesn't bloody stop me, because I've had 3 holidays this year. I probably do too much sometimes. And I do think for it, because that's when I do maybe get ill. I do a bit too much because I feel the energy, and I've always been such an energy person, and I just love doing stuff. And yeah, I'm not a one for laying on the couch so yeah, I do push myself to the limits, which is sometimes a good thing because you got to, but then sometimes my body's screaming at me to stop, and that's when I got to get some blood from very kindly people that donate. Wow, they're lifesavers. But yeah, so I basically haven't worked, obviously, the whole of the cancer thing, and I can't really work full time or anything like that because of my blood transfusions and things. I've got to be really careful, but I really want to make a difference, and I really want to work on volunteer and get out there. And I think I found my purpose, and I really want to help others. But I've seen the authentic, and I've done so much growth. Like, honestly, I've read quite about all the self-help books you can, podcasts, journaling, meditation, Reiki, spiritual healing. I go to church. I found church again. So much work, and my God, the work that goes into healing is like 1 week you're absolutely buzzing, and then the next you're reflecting and absolutely crying your eyes out, like triggers and stuff like that. And it's hard, but it's worth it. And basically, I saw the Authentic Girls group, and I looked at the message actually that I sent, and I just messaged them. I think it was on Instagram I seen it, and I messaged, I was at Facebook, and I messaged about it, and I think it was quite even a month before I actually decided to join, because it took me a while. But I just seen it, and I thought, wow, this Authentic Girls group just seems to me like this is for me. It is, it's got like-minded people. It's what I want. I want to make a difference and be purpose and find my purpose and grow and really get my confidence and build and see what I can do for work or for what is it I want to generally do, find my purpose, find my light again. And my God, you are just incredible. And this is why I'm sat here today. But it took me a while. And then it took me a while to join the calls. But I'm so glad because, yeah, just amazing. It's changed my life. But yeah, that I think I've probably gone off a lot of scope on the question, but that's pretty much me. I don't know what else I'm meant to say, like what I enjoy and stuff. Like I love adventure. I've been solo, glamping. Or you're probably going to ask what I've done throughout the things, so I'll leave that bit. But yeah, I love a camp. My goal is to have a camper van to travel the world, like just see the world, make a difference, help people, and yeah.
Amazing. Amazing. Well, firstly, thank you so much, Amy, for sharing that story so our listeners to kind of get to know you and get an insight of what what you've been through and what you've navigated, and just that courage that's, really come through to help you navigate what you've been through. So thank you so much for sharing that. And so from what you've shared then, it's clear you were doing, before you joined the Authentic Girls Club, you were doing a lot of the inner work previously anyway. So like you mentioned, you've read so many books and journaling and meditation. So would you say then that you kind of your mindset and the way you think, and because you mentioned positivity quite a lot, do you think that really, really helped you navigate the challenges that you faced over the past couple of years?
Oh my God, massively. It's crazy how your body gets you prepared. So I've never, I was never really into yoga and all that. I mean, this is a different thing in my story, but I was known as a party girl. I drank, every weekend. I was always out partying. Like, my life revolved around drinking, really. And 3 years ago, no, what is it now? I get so confused because honestly, that 1 year was a blur, really. I think 22 or 23, I stopped drinking. Yes, it's 3 years in January that I just, and that from then onwards, so I'd split up with my partner who I'd moved down to Cirencester for, and even that was a lot. Like, I found my feet on my own, decided to stay there. I wasn't going to come home, I wanted to stay there. So I stayed in Siren, and from maybe 6 months after that, so yeah, I decided, I'd woke up one morning with a horrendous hangover, as I do, cuts on my arms, all sorts, like absolute anxiety. What had I done? All that. And I just went, and it was random. It was on my Nana's birthday. So it was my Nana's birthday weekend. And I always say, oh, I'm not going to drink again. Like, every weekend I drink, never going to drink again. And this just went bang. I'm not going to drink again. And the girls were like, yeah, give us another one. And I was like, no, that's it. And I have not touched a drop of alcohol since that day.
Wow.
And that's when I started to really get into the mindfulness and the journaling. And I read some really good books about people, stop binge drinking and stuff like that. And that's when I really got into the mindfulness. I started to go to yoga. I started journaling. I had a little bit of counselling back then as well, CBT. Yeah, I started with the counselling then, and I was journaling, like looking back on them journals. It's mad I've kept them all. And that really helped. Journaling has been a massive, massive thing in my whole thing, stemming from then right along. Like, I journaled every single day in that hospital, and I've got all of them journals. And when I first looked back on it, it was heartbreaking. Like, I literally was sobbing, but that got me through. That journaling it down, letting them thoughts out onto paper and not festing them in my brain, really got me through. And like the yoga speak, obviously I couldn't do yoga in hospital, but from that and the mindset. And I did have another little thing in between, just before the cancer. It was a very stressful situation, which I won't go into, but I had to dig deep and use a lot of mindfulness tools, listening to podcasts, breathing. Breathing's been a massive one for me, especially in the hospital as well. Like, learning to breathe through it and really deeply breathing has helped my anxiety massively. Like, honestly, yeah, breathing, journaling, meditating, massive. The nurses would know if they came in to do my obs and I was like zen on the bed, they would just walk out because they were like, we ain't interrupting her. And come back and stuff. Like, and yeah, my mindset was, I mean, looking back in the journals, that it was all, I am, you know, I will get better. I am going to recover. I wrote, I made a picture, right? This might sound crazy, but I made a picture, right, of my white cells fighting the cancer. My first chemo, I never forget when I actually didn't know I was going to go out with this. And I drew these little, I can't draw, and I drew these little men with swords, and they were my white cell, they were my warriors protecting my body, because the chemo was just, I was focusing the chemo just onto my leg and protecting the rest of my body so that the chemo would go just to my leg. And I did that every day. Well, I can't believe I did that, actually.
That's fascinating, isn't it? Where you've got that power of focus and that choice in where you're choosing to focus on, what you're choosing to focus on, and that mindset is so powerful, Amy. Do you think you were aware of it in the moment, that how strong and how powerful your mindset was and is?
I don't think so. I think I was just trying anything to focus on something, like just try and get me through, to keep, like I said, to keep me alive, to keep me, you know, I was in that hospital bed. I couldn't get out of it for like 3 months or something, like maybe they put me in the wheelchair, but like more or less, like, so it was, I had to keep my mind busy, because if not, I mean, I can't imagine, I can so easily see how people go so fast downhill, because if I didn't have that mindset, if I didn't, and that was taught to me from a lady actually, because I was whizzed all over at different hospitals when I was in Cirencester to start, and I went to Birmingham, and she was a counsellor, and I've still got it on my phone. This, it's an actual visualisation meditation that tells you to do that, and I chose to draw it out, and it was a Macmillan nurse from Birmingham Hospital, and a counsellor, sorry, and my God, she was insane, amazing, and I would like to tell her that I did use that the whole time, because I haven't, because obviously I got moved, but yeah, that got me through, and yeah, it is very powerful. Saying it out loud, it's like, wow, like I was doing that, and I did that for myself and my body to fight cancer. And yes, the chemo and the support and everything, but deep down, I think my body and my mind was crucial in it, was absolutely crucial. That positive mindset, because you are what you think. And if you think, you know, I'm not going to survive this, oh my God, you know, whatever. And don't get me wrong, like, but thinking back, I very rarely did. I tried not to have negative thoughts. And if anyone said anything negative to me, I would turn it around. No, we don't have that. No, and stuff. I mean, don't get me wrong, it was a very sad time as well. My God, you know, it was, when I first thinged it, I was that, you know, I had to learn to do it, because I was very much, God, the first time I was like, no, you've got the wrong person, it's not me, and like, you know, oh my God, I can't do this, I can't do this. And then I went into the positive mindset, and I just didn't come out of it. But then after, the positive mindset, I reckon it played a part in saving my life generally, and everybody around me was, I know I said that, but you know, you can't help it when people get really upset and stuff. It was horrendous. I can't imagine what it was like for other people to look on me, because I could see them, but I couldn't see myself as what I was. But yeah, the mindset, and everybody was so good and so positive, and they sent me so many amazing positive quotes, and the affirmations and everything. Like, yeah, the positive mindset, like, was amazing. Like, yeah, 100%.
That's incredible. And I love how you share that, like, you know, just how pinnacle that obviously that lady was, and, you know, teaching that visualization and really kind of harnessing that. And I think this is where, you know, we can have the tools, but then it's our choice to use them. And I just have to absolutely, like, just say how wowed I am, like, that you just ran with that in times that, you know, kind of I don't know, I could just imagine could so easily go the other way, like you say, and actually to just grab hold of that, like you made that happen. Like we can have these tools, but it's our choice to use them in whatever circumstance, right? And yeah, I just really want to celebrate you in this moment, because that's just mind-blowingly inspiring to hear. It really, really is. And I know you will, but just God, take note of that. Wow. Wow.
That
We're
is
speechless
incredible.
on that. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. And it just kind of what I'd love to look at now, Amy, is so you obviously you mentioned that it was 6 months ago we kind of came into each other's worlds when you joined TAGC, and that's not, in the scheme of things, that's not a long time, but we know how much more you have grown in that time in terms of mindset, in terms of what you've achieved, in terms of what you're achieving, in terms of getting to know yourself better. I mean, if we just look back to what you said earlier on, about how I know you toyed with the other word, which I think the other word starts with L as well, but you said, I like myself. So I would love to know kind of what your growth has been like since you joined us, and what was that kind of what was that moment of change for you when you decided, oh, I'm ready to join this club? What was it for, and what have you achieved since we've been working together over the last 6 months?
So I work so well with accountability.
Mm-hmm.
So having you guys there and knowing, that we have the calls and you Friday wins and things like that, and that you're going to be asked or whatever, or made accountable. So I think it pushes me to do it and take action, instead of having an idea and going, yeah, writing it down, not making it anything, and procrastinating so much. I think the accountability has been massive and helpful for me to really grow, really believe in myself and be like, this is your time now, Amy. You've done all the work behind the scenes, and now it's time to step into that action. And I feel like I came to use at the right time. And yes, it's took the 6 months, but I feel like now is the action is just coming thick and fast, and I'm like so excited. But also the N word, which I don't say as well. But yeah, I just can't believe what's coming out of just being here with you for 6 months. Like, it's incredible. But yeah, I've gained confidence, self-belief, took action. Yeah.
Amazing. What would you say your relationship with yourself is like now compared to, say, like 6 months ago?
Yeah, I truly do. So obviously I have done work before, and obviously I was getting to that point, but this has really pushed me in. I can now look in the mirror, and it's still a little bit going, oh, if you say this, Amy, people are going to think, oh, you love yourself, oh, ego. I've still got that going now in it, but I feel like I'm going to say it, because so when I look in the mirror and I look myself in there and I'm like, I'm proud of you, and look what we're achieving. And yeah, and I can deadly look myself in the eye and say that I like myself from the inside, and I'm being confident. Yeah, I feel confident in myself. I generally do. It's still a little bit working on, like, don't get me wrong, but I can generally look myself in the mirror and be happy for who I am and what I've overcome. And actually, I actually love spending time with myself. I went on a solo trip, and I feel like sometimes when I'm authentically me on my own, I'm like, I love it, like, because I don't have to feel like what anyone thinks or anything. I'm getting to the point where I've always been like with people, but people will be like, Amy, who know me, like, I've always been loud and out there and whatever. But obviously, like I say, it was through drink quite a lot, but now I can be completely me. And don't get me wrong, some people say, oh God, crazy, that, but I generally love when I'm singing out loud, dancing around the house, like in the car, or just and being in my own company. Like when I went on a walk, on Sunday, the biggest walk I've done since I learned to walk again with my legs. I don't know if I meant, so with the osteosarcoma, I actually had to have a limb saving surgery. So I've got a metal plate all the way up my leg and a metal knee. So it took a lot of physio and a lot of belief. It's all in the mind as well. Like, I found it more mentally struggling than physical. And yeah, so on Sunday I went for this walk with no stick, which I haven't been using stick for a long time, for a while now. But normally in this, the terrain was like mad, like grass and on hill, and I went down a bank, but I literally got to the top and there was this oak tree and it went literally down at that, and I stood there and I was like, I can't do that. I'm going to hurt myself, going to fall. And then I looked on the floor and nowhere to fly. There was a feather, a white one. It couldn't be from a pigeon. It was just there. And I looked at it and I was like, you can do this. So I stood and I was looking at it and I had this smile on my face as well. And no one was around me. And I was like, we're going to do this. But I don't think we should get, and I was literally talking out loud to myself.
Mm-hmm.
And I got myself and I was like, I know what we're going to do. I was like, just get on your bum and slide down that hill now. So I got on my bum and I slid down it. And I literally was like laughing like this. I was like, Amy, you amaze me every day. Like, what on earth have you just done? And then I like walked to the river bit, and then I somehow got back up this bank with nothing near me. There was no trees in that. It was massively out of my comfort zone. And when I got back, I think Mum could hear me from the end of the street. I was like, no, you never guess what I've just done. Like, so I forgot what the question was.
No, so do you know what? This is so
love that
wonderful to hear, isn't it? Isn't it just? And it's just your energy.
Yeah.
Honestly, like, we haven't met in person yet, guys, and we cannot wait to meet Amy in person, because it's it's a fizzy energy. Like, it's like popping candy, and absolutely love it. And I love that you've just shared, and I really want you to see this, Amy, because this is huge to say we like ourselves, to say we love ourselves. There can be that inner dialogue of, oh, what are people going to think, she loves herself and all this, that and the other. But what you've just shared is truly beautiful, that you love spending time with yourself. Like, that is such a testament to the work that you have done, to the growth, to the mindset, to feel so at home with yourself. And I love that you are your best cheerleader. It was you that got you down that steep hill, whether that was out loud, whether that was internally. You said it was out loud, and that is just such a beauty. I can see it and I can feel it, and I know you can too, Charlotte. But isn't that just wonderful to know, like, well, we're going to do this. Like, I am on my own team. And I just invite you to really see that right now. And I know you do. But how wonderful is that? How wonderful is that?
Thank you.
Incredible. And I think kind of the self-coaching obviously is what we stand for. It's kind of being that person that we need, being that person that we need on our darkest days. And then when we're winning, we're flying, right? And I think, again, the epitome of who you are with yourself, like, you coach yourself through each and every piece of this, like you have done. And I know there was a moment that you shared with us recently in the hospital where, again, coach yourself, and it just took me back to that as you were saying that, because it's very much the words you say to yourself, isn't it? It's the self-talk. That's what's absolutely second to none. And I love this about your story, because I feel like every time we speak, you will share a story where you've done that again, and you've done it again, and you can just see it getting stronger and stronger. And like I know recently you've coached yourself through some really triggering times as well, like, and that, like, what a gift we get to give to ourselves, right? To have that with ourselves and be that for ourselves. And that's why I'm like, I feel like I'm just smiling, because your stories are just everything.
Yeah,
I'm like
achy cheekbones, isn't it? And just to kind of expand on what Charlotte's just shared there, is that you absolutely do coach yourself through the challenging times. And what's beautiful to see now, as we're working with you in certain ways in TAGC, is you're coaching yourself forward as well. So there's this forward vision, which I know you're working on, which is really exciting. And in doing that, and in the voice notes that we exchange, like, look at what you are attracting in your world. Like, when your voice note drops, we're like, right, I was another step forward, because you are attracting so much in your world, right? Aren't you, at the moment, with what you're creating in this next chapter you're stepping into? Do you really feel that as well, Amy?
Yeah, I really do. And I think oh my goodness, when I send you the voice notes, and then when I've finished, I'm like, oh God, I'm literally just gone off it. But I just generally am my truth. I feel like I feel safe with using that. I can just be truly me. And I think that's what's incredible. I'm genuinely excited on the voice note, and I want to share it with you because you have put me on this path. And yeah, and that's just truly me. Like my friends, I have voice notes, and that's what I was saying. Like, oh my God, I can do like a 10-minute voice note. How am I going to stop on the podcast when it's going to be about 5 hours long? But yeah, like I am excited for what's to come, and I've got a few little things up my sleeve.
Yes. And we've been working together, haven't we, in a 2-to-1 space. So over just this past month, and honestly, the progress, and I think what you said there, you really which is brilliant awareness. You thrive with accountability, right? And that's, I think, such a huge, like, you have taken that space and absolutely ran with it. Again, it's like you can have the tools, but like, how are you going to choose to use them? Like, again, see this within yourself. You grab whatever you've got and you blooming well use it, and that is the best trait. Like, that is the most incredible trait. It's only going to take you one way, and that's what we've witnessed in that space, right? It's just all of these tools, practices, everything that we share, you just grab them and you run with them. And do you want to share kind of what you've got coming up? Because we've only been in that space for a month and a lot has changed, right?
Yeah, firstly, I have wanted to do a podcast to share my story. It was on my vision board since January. And so, yeah, I have achieved this because of you girls. So this is massive for me. Like, I wanted to get my story out there, but I didn't know how to do it in a way of, I was a little bit, even though I've said I'm becoming very confident, I was a little bit self-confident of how, about sharing it. And I think this time is right, because if I'd done it maybe a couple of months ago, I would have been very triggered, probably very emotional still about it. And I think now I can speak about it without, don't get me wrong, I'm probably going to have to journal a little bit after I've spoken about it, but also it's good for me because I'm getting it out there, getting it out and speaking about it really helps. But yeah, I have in 6 months, I have done 2 fundraisers for 2 charities, Sarcoma UK and Blood Cancer UK. And yeah, I did one, it was like a night with a musician and tombola, raffle, and I was so happy at the turnout. Amazing friends and family came, and it was just incredible. I raised over £2,000, and then I did an afternoon tea one recently, which I didn't get a massive turnout, and I was nearly gonna cancel it. And do you know what? I didn't, because that would be telling myself that I failed, and I didn't fail because it was a lesson learned. I did it short notice because I wanted to reach the end of the September month, which was blood cancer awareness. And I'm still proud that I did it, and I'm so grateful for the people that did turn up. And I raised still £340 for blood cancer, for the amazing charities. And yeah, I do volunteering for a wellness centre close to me, coffee and cake, which I haven't been for the last 2 ones because I haven't been very well, and I think I wasn't very well last one, or for some reason, but I do love it there, and I feel a purpose of helping people, chatting. I love chatting to people, some elderly that live on their own, and just that one conversation helps them, not be so lonely in that day they've spoke to someone. And I just love chatting anyway, as you can see. But I think that's where I think that even in the haematology today, I spoke to this man, oh my goodness, my heart. And, he was a widow, he was on his own. And I did say something at first, and then I did my own little thing. And then he just started talking to me on my own. And he told me his whole life story. And I just sat and listened to him. And I was like, oh my goodness, this man is just incredible. Like, anyway, yeah, so I've done volunteering. What's the other thing I've got? Yeah, the podcast. So
Just a little thing, Amy.
There's just so many wonderful things happening, you see.
Yeah.
My friends and family are going to be thinking at me because I haven't even told some of them.
And you don't have to if you don't want to, if you don't want to.
Well, I'll kind of thing, but I'm just going to say this one to the world because this is mine. But I'm writing a children's book about my journey through the voice of woodland animals.
Amazing. How does that feel to say that out loud?
Yeah, it's been coming for a while, but I've done a lot of research. I've done a lot of notes. I've got the characters' names. I've got everything, and I've actually started writing in the book, and I'm 8 pages, like generally pages of the actual book, what the animal's saying, and I am very proud. And when I was younger, I wrote in a short story book, I Need to Get Mum to Get Out of the Loft. And I remember we did one to my grandma, one to my nan, and probably others. And it had a rainbow on the front. It was light blue, and it was short stories. And it got published, not to bookstores and that, I don't think, but it was like when schools do like that thing where you write in a book and it gets published, like short stories. And I love doing that. And, you know, I love doing that. And I remember getting published because it was really good. And I then didn't do anything about it. But I've always think it's been inside of me. And yeah, first of all, I was going to write about my story, but I've decided, I started writing it and I was like, no, it just wasn't right. And then I went to the children's book and it just flew out of me. So I'm very excited for that. Kat and Charlotte got front row seats to the book signing.
Absolutely.
And one of my amazing friends is going to be my illustrator. I'm so grateful for that. And it's just happening. And I can literally visualize what it's going to look like and everything. And then I'm doing something in the community, which I have got a meeting next week. So I won't say it properly just in case. But I've got something coming up to spread kindness and positivity in the community. Hopefully.
And we know a little bit about this, guys, and we're not gonna divulge either, but just let us tell you, like, watch this space, because this project that Amy has got working on within the community is, yeah, it's going to be the ripple effect. So do watch this space and do follow Amy. And how beautiful to just announce that with regards to the children's book. And I just, you're just listening to your language, you just said it's going to happen. Like it's a done deal, and this is your beautiful mindset and approach. Like, if you want something, yeah, I'm just gonna go and make it happen. Like there's no negotiating here. And I just love that passion and that confidence and that dedication and conviction that comes through when you talk, whether it be here on the podcast, whether it's when you're messaging us on voice notes. So you heard it here first, guys. Like, when this book gets published, you heard it here first, right?
Yes, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And I want to really just draw upon just how intuitive you are as well. And I think you lean in to what feels good, and you're okay if something doesn't feel good. And that's such a great trait as well, right? And like getting back to, and I think this is the whole, building that relationship with ourselves so that we can really listen again. And like, we know, like, what you say, like, your answers, right?
Starting to learn more. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I don't think I used to listen before.
No, it's interesting, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't listen as well as what I do now to the intuition.
Yeah. And how do you think that kind of kicked off? What was the catapult to actually start listening to yourself, do you think?
I think from doing the meditations, you just started, I've been doing it over like a year now, and I just would start getting like, I don't know, I would get things pop into my head and write them down, or dreams. I mean, I know they sound mad, but I've had a few dreams that I've wrote down and they have come true, like it's actually happened in real life. And there was a mad one the other day, but I'm not going to say it on thing, but I'll tell you in voice note.
What a tease for
Yeah.
our listeners there.
I haven't got the confidence to say that out loud.
No, it's all good. It's all good.
But yeah, I don't know. If you listen and just quieten your brain, which I've had to really learn to do that, because I've never been a calm person. I was always, don't get me wrong, I still am, woo, but I can feel myself sitting here, and I am a lot calmer than I used to be. But I mean, don't get me wrong, my energy is still off it. But like, I don't worry as much, and I'm seeing it, and I'm like, wow, like, and I don't get angry. I see it, and I can see triggers coming as well now, and I learn how to do it, and it's so amazing, because I used to be a hothead. God, but now I breathe, I learn, and I take compassion to the person. But yeah, I definitely, I'm just thinking back to the question, sorry. I definitely do listen to my intuition more. Just probably a lot more the last couple of months, really listening. And I think I struggle with saying things that, like, I don't like conflict. Don't get me wrong, I've had many of a conflict when I've had a drink, but in the past, but I'm scared of what, I don't want to upset the apple cart. I don't want to do it, and I'm really trying to voice my opinions more, and just, if I'm not happy or I've got an opinion, voice it instead of holding back, because that other person is not going to like it or not thing. Like, I think I've got work to do on that. But with the intuition, I think sometimes it screams at you, and if you don't listen, something happens so that you do listen.
Yes.
Like
absolutely.
Loads happen at the minute. If I do too much, Baz of the bone marrow, which I call him, will just drop, because he's like, you're not listening, you're doing far too much, we're just gonna make you lay on that bed. So or like, if like I've got an idea or you haven't followed through with it, I find, like, randomly it'll come up in a book I'm reading. Like, for instance, Ireland is popping up every single where at the minute, and I keep saying I'm going to spend New Year on my own in Ireland. Or go before Christmas with my friends to a Christmas market or whatever, and it keeps popping up, and I'm not doing anything about it. And I don't know, I just think the messages are all around, and if you don't listen, they'll just, and things will happen. Like, if you don't change something, or you just keep doing, I believe that until you've learned the lesson, then they'll keep doing it to you, because you haven't learned, you're still doing what you were doing.
That's great. I love that. The messages keep showing up until we're ready to take the lesson. I love that. And you're clearly tuning in, like, from what you just shared, I know that intuition, you're tuning back into self and going through that process of listening, like you said, quiet through the meditation. That's your tool, really quietening the noise and being able to tune back in and listen, and the positive impact of that. You said, like, you're a calmer person, you've still got your fizzing energy, but you feel more of a calmer person. You don't get angry. The triggers come your way, but you kind of like, well, I'm okay with that, because I can manage them, and I know what to do, and I can learn through them. Like, this is beautiful, isn't it? When we tune back in.
It really is. And I wonder as well, so excuse me, with the, obviously we share, and I've just realized we literally went on our sobriety journey right at the same time, Amy. Literally.
Really?
Yeah. So 3 years this January.
Yeah.
January is for you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wow,
literally.
I
Yes, yeah, 3 years this
Oh,
January.
wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I wondered, did you notice the difference in terms of listening to yourself and intuition post not drinking anymore?
Oh, yeah, like the drink was just, yeah, massively. Well, just because, don't know about the intuition, it's probably, oh, yeah, because my brain would just be like, I had the worst anxiety ever, and my brain, I would, yeah, because I would worry so much more. And I was only really confident when I'd had a drink and stuff. And I think the drink was obviously masking the intuition, but also I found that if you didn't say it sober, it would come out drunk, and that would cause a lot of problems.
Mm.
Like,
It's a different kind of delivery, isn't it, after a few
Yeah.
drinks?
yeah.
It's
Yeah,
really interesting. Yeah,
if
because
it's on your mind and you don't say it,
Mm.
I found that it would come out when I'd had a drink in the wrong way. Where now
yeah.
I don't drink, so I either don't say it at all, or I'm learning. Yeah, that's maybe, but yeah, because the drink, yeah, for me it was just. I can't believe that's for 3 years as well. So what was your both? How did you both?
Yeah, so sorry, were you
I
good?
was just going to say, it was one of those moments. I rolled over in bed one Sunday morning to my husband and said, I can't keep doing this to myself after another weekend of drinking. And his deepest words of wisdom, Amy, were, don't then. It was literally that. It was literally that. And I know Charlotte had already started your sober journey, hadn't you, Charlotte? And Charlotte was absolutely my inspiration to take that seriously and really go for it. And I know I speak for both of us here, don't I, Charlotte? Like, it's one of the, if not one of the best decisions I've ever made in my life. Like, I am so much
Yeah.
more in tune with my true, authentic self without
Yeah.
alcohol in my life. It pushed me further away from who I really am, and just cost me so much time, energy. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what if you want to add onto that, Charlotte, at all in terms of your
Yeah,
experience.
no, when you're saying about the anxiety, to be honest, like I used to like even just it got to the point where it was like one or two glasses of wine, and I was waking up in the middle of the night feeling bad, like for having them
Mm.
and feeling like the worst person in the world. And I was like, what is this? Like, what is this? And for me, the kind of want was I was getting really annoyed about the kind of just my relationship with it. And I wanted not drinking to be my standard and drinking to be the choice.
Mm.
Whereas for me, I felt like it was the other way around. Like drinking was just a given. You know, it's Friday, I'm going to drink. Like,
Yeah.
or even it's Thursday. It got to the point where it's even it's Wednesday. Like we're halfway through the week. Let's
Yeah.
celebrate.
Or any day
You
that's
know?
not a day in
Yeah,
it.
yeah. And it just got to, I just wanted that power back over it. I wanted to know that I could say I'm not drinking on a night. So I never set out to actually go sober. And if you'd have told me that a few years ago, I would have never believed you at all. But I went on an alcohol-free adventure for 3 months. And I actually started the alcohol-free adventure on the first day of the summer holidays. And I was like, if I can do this, like, oh my goodness.
Mm.
And I did 3 months. And then it was then getting towards Christmas and I started to drink again. And I very quickly not lost control, but just fell back into the old pattern of it just being a given again. And I was like, what is this? Like, and I just didn't like it. I didn't like not I've never liked not feeling in control either. And I just hated it. And I think there's just so much in terms of an identity shift and everything, like a life shift that comes with it. But yeah, I just decided that January, like we both did it together, didn't we? And kind of said no more. And it's been the best. It's 100% 10x all self-development for me. Like it's now just every day I wake up and feel the same. And I feel like that's such a gift. Whereas before I was on this roller coaster of believing in what I was doing 1 minute and then the next minute being like sat in a sea of doubt and not moving. So it's been like I just love waking up and feeling the same, and just having that constant with myself.
Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, it's a good old journey. It's a good old
It
journey.
sure is. It sure is. It is
Yeah,
It was the
indeed.
but
best decision of my life by a
yeah,
million.
Amazing. Yeah.
And I'm
incredible.
glad that it happened before the cancer. It's mad how I chose to stop just before.
Yeah,
Yes.
And it was, nobody believed me. No one, because I've drank since the age of 14.
Yeah.
And, you know, and no one believed me, because especially I was the party girl, like, oh, you need to be out tonight. Like, and I used to, I only drank on a weekend, never during the week. But I can never remember a time where I had one. Every time I drank, I was really drunk. Like, I could never remember a time when I wasn't absolutely hammered, like drunk. I never just had one or two. It was always to the oblivion, always. And then that's what people know me as, was that drinking and party girl. But I can have so much fun without it. I don't need to drink.
Yeah,
And
I
the
think that's a great
confidence,
realization,
yeah,
isn't
it is,
it?
isn't
That
it?
actually you don't need it, and
No.
it's a different, I don't know, I think it's taking it a different journey. I think sometimes it can feel like we're taking something away from ourselves, but actually if you reposition it of actually what you're giving yourself, there's a real difference there. And I know I tried to not drink and did dry Januaries left, right, and centre, and just literally I just shut myself away for a month, feel really like depressed, and then make up for it in February and be right back to where I was in the beginning. And I was like, what is this about? But yeah, it's what you gain, isn't it? And yeah, just
so much, and a confidence that is really, it's real, isn't it? It's just a different kind of confidence when you're not drinking, and you find that confidence, like you just can't, no one can take that away from you. Like it's within, isn't it? And you just glow from the inside out. Oh, this is wonderful. This is
now. Oh, sorry. I
no,
still
go
love
on,
going out and being.
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
not as much. Like at the minute, it's been more doing stuff during the day, nature and stuff. I found myself a lot.
Yeah.
But don't get me wrong, I still love going. I love live music and stuff. Like I'm going on Saturday, and I don't mind people being a little bit drunk and I like it. I like the atmosphere. After 11 o'clock, I'm out that door because that's when it starts getting sloppy.
Getting messy.
Like, oh, I'm off.
Yeah, that's our cue. That is our cue to leave. Cup of tea and biscuits in bed. I'm there.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
But then it's waking up and just knowing that you're still good, isn't it? Yeah. It's just, it's a gift. It's a gift.
It really
I'm like,
is. You can add so much.
How many days I've wasted, like hanging off the toilet loo, or like being sick, or being cocooned in my blanket.
Yeah, definitely.
Amazing.
Incredible. Well, Amy, wow, what a story. And just to hear you speak and share just these little, even just the nuggets of stories as well, where you've just used the power of your mind, use the power of how you are with yourself to get you through some really challenging times. It's been incredible to hear. And I'm just I don't know what else to say, but that was just amazing.
You've got an absolute toolkit that you've just shared with us all. Your toolkit, you really lent into where it's the meditation, the journaling, the positive mindset, the getting out in nature, the choosing how to talk to yourself, choosing how to see things. Like there's a whole host of tools that you've been using, and that's just wonderful for our listeners to hear, because that's accessible to all of us, isn't it? So thank you so much. And I think what would be amazing to kind of bring this episode to a close with, what we love to ask is, if you could give our listeners one piece of advice, what would it be, Amy?
I would say, no matter how hard the storm is, there'll always be a rainbow waiting at the other side. And that believe in yourself and just live the life that you've always dreamed of, because you just don't know what is round the corner. And just do everything you've ever wanted. Tell everyone you love them every day. Like, just live life like you don't know when it's going to be your last, and just absolutely run for the hills. And just find the joy in every day. That was about 3 things, sorry. And also, can I just quickly go back in case to when I said about my positive mindset with the cancer, I don't think, when I completely understand where, and it's not that you have a positive mindset and then or you don't have a positive mind. You have a positive mindset and then you don't recover or anything like that, or because you didn't have it. I don't mean anything like that at all. And to anybody going through cancer at the moment, or which I know is two people quite really close to me actually, and anyone going through it, or their families, or they know anyone, I send so much love and hope and strength to them. And I know that I'm so beyond grateful to be here alive today. And I know it unfortunately can be so different for so many. And yeah, I send love to them all.
Oh, amazing.
Thank you, Amy.
Amazing. You're incredible, so Amy, and you're an inspiration. And I think it's just, the value in just hearing people's stories, right? And having spaces like this to just share them and be open, be vulnerable, share what works for you. Like, you never know what little piece of this is going to go and really land with someone. And I sure know, when you kind of look back at your own journey and you're like, there's been all like the Macmillan nurse who will be somewhere, hopefully this lands to her in some way, but she'll be somewhere right now not knowing what a profound impact she's had on you. And I just invite you to see that this podcast will do exactly the same for someone else. And this is the ripple, right? It's having that courage and that vulnerability to share, and that ripples out into the world. So yeah, we're just so grateful to have you here, Amy, to have you on the podcast, to hear your story. And we cannot wait for all that's coming next for you, because we know there's a lot of incredible stuff. So also as well, what is your Instagram handle for people to follow you? Because make sure you are following, please, everybody.
Chasing the Rainbows of Life.
Yes. And it literally popped into my head before, and I was like, we need to bring the rainbows in. And I love that very last piece, you brought the rainbows in, because that is so you. It's your message. It's everything. And I see a rainbow and I think of you.
Oh,
honestly. And actually, I even driving the other day, and I'm just, when I said at the beginning, you are such a light, you are. And I know that you're going to listen back to this and realize quite what a light you are. So sending love to everybody. Thank you, Amy. Thank you so much. And we will see everybody again.
And you and Kat, honestly, I'm honoured to be on this podcast. Like, generally, thank you from the bottom of my heart. And even if this story reaches just one person, like, just to help just one person.
Smashed it. Done it.
Amazing.
You've done it. Literally, vision tick. On to the next podcast. Next stage, all of the things. So sending love, everybody, and we will see you all really, really soon.
See you soon. Bye.
What if today was the last day you ever woke up and thought, is this it? You were not born to settle. And in 1 hour inside Wake Up Excited, we'll prove it to you. Wake Up Excited is a free masterclass for the woman who is ready to stop settling and start living life on her terms. In just 60 minutes, you are going to rewrite the story you're living by and reignite the spark that makes you wake up excited again. Your next chapter doesn't start someday. It starts the moment you choose it. And if this conversation lit something up inside of you, this is your moment. The link is waiting for you in the show notes, and we cannot wait to see you there.